Hello, and welcome to this fractions to decimal series of videos, where today we're going to be looking at converting recurring decimals into fractions with some slightly more advanced questions. Okay, let's have a look at some examples. So, first example, we want to write 0.35 recurring as a fraction, okay? So, first of all, we're going to let x equal 0.35 recurring. Now, take a note this lesson, the dot is only above the number 5, okay? So to write that out, we would write 0.3 and then only the 5 repeats itself, okay? And that's because the dot is only above the number 5, okay? So let's go through the same method as last time. So if x is 0.355, let's try using 10x. What is 10x equal to? Well, that will be equal to 3.5555 recurring, okay? Now, unfortunately, the decimals don't line up here. We've got 5 and 5, 5 and 5, 5 and 5, but then we've got 3 and 5. So because they're not the same, we can't really use x and 10x, okay? So let's have a look at using 100x. So if I use 100x, if I multiply it by 10, move the numbers along one place value, I have 35.5555. Now, normally in the last lesson, we always used x, and we either used 10x or 100x or sometimes even 1000x. But actually, you may have spotted that the two versions of x that the decimals line up with are 10x and 100x. So we don't actually use x at all in this question, okay? Once you figured this bit out, it's exactly the same method as last time. So the biggest number of x's, which is 100x, we're going to take away 10x, because remember, we're not using x anymore because the decimals don't line up. 100x take away 10x is 90x. Now let's use these values for 100x. So for 100x, 35.555 recurring, and 10x is 3.555 recurring. So take these away. 5 take away 5 is 0. Take away 5 is 0. 5 take away 5 is 0. Put the decimal point in. Now 5 take away 3 is 2. And then 3 take away nothing is 3. So this is where these questions differ as well from last lesson. So whereas before it was always something over 99 or something over 990, you'll have noticed now that this number that 90x is equal to has changed, okay? So now we've got 90x is equal to 32. So let's use that. 90x is equal to 32. Now to solve this, we simply solve this equation for x. So we need to get rid of this 90. I need to divide both sides of the equation by 90. And that will give me x is equal to 32 over 90. Okay, now that is the answer to this question. X is 32 over 90, and we have found the equivalent fraction of 0.35 recurring. But actually, we should look at simplifying this fraction as well, okay? And because I know both these numbers are even, 32 and 90, I know I can divide them both by 2. So x is equal to 16 over 45, okay? So this lesson, we're going to ask you guys to start simplifying some of your answers as well, okay? So in this case, the decimal 0.35 recurring is equal to 16 over 45, okay? Let's have a look at another example. Now here we've got 0.534 as a fraction, okay? We're going to write this number as a fraction. So once again, start with x, and I've got 0.5, so only 1 5, and then the 3 and the 4 repeat, okay? Because the dot's above the 3 and the 4, okay? Next, let's use 10x, and that'll be 5.3434. Now this isn't useful to me because the decimals don't match up. Let's try 100x. So that'll be 53.4343. No such luck here either, because as we can see, none of these decimals match up at all so far. So let's go up, let's multiply by 10 again. Let's go to 1000x. And that gives us 534.3434. Now, I can see the two values of x I'm going to use for this question is going to be 10x and 1000x, because after the decimal point, we've got 3434. Okay, so same method as last time. My biggest x, which is 1000x, I'm going to take away 10x, which will be 990x. Okay, 1000x take away 10x is 990x. 1000x we said was 534.34 recurring. Oh, I'll write another 34 in there just so we don't get mixed up with the decimal point. 0.34 recurring. And we're going to take away 5.3434. Okay. So let's go through this. Everything after the decimal point is going to cancel out. So it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0. 4 take away 5. Well, I can't do that. I need to borrow 1 from the 3. 14 take away 5 is 9. 2 take away nothing is 2. 5 take away nothing is 5. So I now know that 990x is equal to 529. So 990x equals 529. To solve this equation, I need to divide both sides by 990, which leaves me with x is equal to 529 over 990. Okay, and that means 0.534 recurring, written as a fraction, is 529 over 990. Okay. Now let's look at one more example. So here we've got 0.625 as a fraction. Okay, so 0.62 don't repeat, but the 5 does repeat. Okay, so let's write this out. So x is equal to 0.62, which don't repeat, and then it's 5, 5, 5 repeats. Okay, so let's try 10x. So that'll be equal to 6.2555. Now those decimals don't match up, so let's try another one. 100x. That'll be equal to 62.555. That's no good either. So let's try 1000x. Let's try 1000x. And that will be equal to 625.555. Now, hopefully you can see the two values of x we're going to use this question are 100x and 1000x. Okay, so 1000x, take away 100x is equal to 900x. Using these values now, so 1000x we said was 625.555, and 100x is 62.555. Take these away. So everything after the decimal point is going to cancel to 0, because 5 take away 5 is 0. 5 take away 2 is 3. I can't do 2 take away 6. I have to borrow 1. So I have to borrow 1 to 6 into 5. 12 take away 6 is 6. 5 take away nothing is 5. So now I know 900x is equal to 563. To solve this, I have to divide both sides by 900, like so. So I end up with x is equal to 563 over 900. So that is 0.625 recurring, with only the 5 recurring as a fraction, 563 over 900. Let's have a look at the main task. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at converting these decimals into fractions. And for some of them, you need to simplify. So just check if the numerator and the denominator are even, and that'll be a good sign whether you can simplify it at all. Okay, so pause the video and have a go. Best of luck. Okay, here are the answers. Very well done if you got those right. And let's have a look at the checking question now. So, checking question. I want you to solve 0.346 recurring and 0.229 recurring. Give the solution as a fraction and simplify fully. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at this question. Best of luck. Okay, so to answer this question, first of all, we need to write 0.346 and 0.229 as fractions before we can add them. Okay, 0.229. So first of all, 0.346 recurring. So x is equal to 0.34646. 10x is equal to 3.4646. Now I can't use these because the decimals don't line up. Let's try 100x. It's equal to 34.6464. No joy yet. Let's try 1000x. That is 346.4646. And bingo, we're going to be using 10x and 1000x. Okay, so 1000x, take away 10x, is equal to 990x. 1000x was equal to 346.46 recurring, and we were going to take away 3.46 recurring. So 6 takes away 6 is nothing, 4 take away 4 is nothing, put in the decimal point, 6 take away 3 is 3, 4 take away nothing is 4, 3 take away nothing is 3. So now we know 990 is equal to 343. Sorry, 990x is equal to 343. Just write that down. And then finally, to find out the fraction, we need to divide both of these numbers by 990. So that gives us x is equal to 343 over 990. Okay, so this is our first part of our answer. So this is what we've got for 0.346 recurring. So we have got 343 over 990. We still need to find out what we're adding it to. Okay, let's just color that in. Next, we need to solve what 0.229 recurring is. Now, actually, we can use a bit of a shortcut because there's the same number of recurring decimals in 0.346 and 0.229. Okay, so I don't need to test them all out again. I'm fairly confident that if I use 10x, which would be 2.2929 recurring, and if I use 1000x, which is equal to 229.2929, I know that these are going to cancel, the decimals are going to cancel each other out with these two. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to be using 10x again and 1000x, and I just did that by looking at what I used for the last decimal, and it's very similar to this one. Okay, so once again, 1000x, take away 10x is 990x. 1000x was 229.29, and we're going to take away 2.29. Okay, so Everything after the decimal point is going to be a 0. 9 take away 2 is 7. 2 take away nothing is 2. 2 take away nothing is 2. Because these are equal, so we've got 990x is equal to 227. Divide them both by 990. And we get x is equal to 227 over 990. Let's use a different color highlighter. Let's go for blue. So this answer here. Add that to 227 over 990. Showing you where we got this from. So we're trying to solve this. So 343 plus 227, let's do some quick maths over here. 343 plus 227. 3 plus 7 is 10. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. 3 plus 2 is 5. So we've got 570 over 990. And I can also see fairly easily, I can divide these both by 10. So that will be 57 over 99. And I can also divide these by 3. So to do this, I've divided both numbers by 10. And then to do this, if I divide them by 3, 57 divided by 3 is 19. 99 divided by 3 is 33. So the answer to 0.346 recurring, add 0.229 recurring, is 19 over 33. Very well done if you got that, guys, and we'll see you next lesson. Bye now.